Hi, in this video I have 6 different card designs to share with you. The collection I'm using is called Wild Winter, and this collection is from the Crafty Witches. It's one of their Book of Spells volume 5, and this is all for Christmas. So just break this down, what we've got ready here. Now we've got an 8x8 card, and I've just folded the front over in half so we can make a Z-fold card. What I'm using for this card is basically just an insert. So that is just one of the inserts that I've just cut down to fit my card. So I have a black card here for my black mat. This measures 19.5 centimeters by 19.5 centimeters, and then slightly smaller piece of white card, and this will measure 19 centimeters by 19 centimeters. And then just double check what I've measured this at, and then this insert part will just sit on there, and I've cut this at 18.5 centimeters. Yeah, by 18.5 centimeters. So just move this out of the way, and we'll just stick these together first. Just make sure that's straight, and then attach this to the black mat. Get that level too. Now this is going to stick attached to the inside of our card base. Make sure I've got that level. And then for the front, I've got a piece of black card, 19.5 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters, a piece of white card by 19 centimeters by 9 centimeters, and then double check this. This measures 18.5 centimeters by 8.5 centimeters. So just attach these together for our front. attach the whole layers to the front of the card base. Yep, that's the start of our card. And now what I've done, I printed the insert off again, and this time I've cut the oval out that I'm going to foam pad onto there, and then I've also cut around the rabbit image, but I've left a small border around the outside, and that just attached to there. Thought it'd be quicker using the tape than adding foam pads. Just turn that around. Just place that on top, and then do the same with the rabbit. Just slightly fold the rabbit around, and then just going to layer up double foam pads just at the centre of the rabbit. Just to give it a little bit more height. Okay, now because this overlaps, you really only want glue on the one side. Just attach it down there. You can get a small amount just in there, just so it gives us the fold of the rabbit. There you go. Yeah, just gives the rabbit a bit more shape. I don't know if you can see that. And then what I've done, I've gone and cut around one of the toppers, exactly like the rabbit, leaving a small part of the border, just so we can, then we're not cutting into the leaves, and we can keep all the rest of the decoration. And this we're just going to foam pad just at the top there, so it's half hanging over our fold. Okay, so I was just flying over there, and then I wanted some loop down here, so I've gone and cut out one of the pheasant toppers, and we're just going to pop the pheasant down there. Just going to do part of a foam pad, because this is going to put some height to this side of the pheasant. And just a little bit of glue. Again, it just gives a little bit of an effect, and stops everything being so flat too. There you go, and there's our pheasant. And then last of all, I made a white mat for my sentiment, and we just need to decide where we're going to put it, and I think we'll put it in there. Just keep this flat. Just go underneath the owl, and there you go. So again, just using an insert, 2 toppers that we've cut out, well, 2 inserts, and the sentiment, and that's quite an effective card. So that's our first 8x8 card. Now this is our second 8x8 card. Now this time I've done what you can do with digital crafting is taking a snapshot of one of the smaller toppers, and I've made a note. So this I took with Adobe Reader. I've just taken with the snapshot tool, I've just gone around the image that I want, and then I've went to print, I've gone and changed the print to printed at 140%. So I've done 2 of these, both at 140%. Oh, sorry, no, it looks like I've done 3 of these at 140%. And that then just enlarged our topper. So you can just do one, but I've obviously in this design I'm wanting to decoupage. So some plain paper here. So it's 19.5 centimeters by 19.5 centimeters. I'm just going to add my topper to that. Just be careful because there is a bigger gap. It doesn't fit flush. Well, it doesn't fit with just a 5mm border. So you just have to make sure that you get it in the centre as close as possible. Now attach that to the card base. Just move that around so it's level on each side. Okay. Got a little mark there, so I'm going to have to change my plan slightly and put some ink over that. So yeah, so on the next sheet then I've cut out the centre, just this white box there that I'm going to decoupage, and also I've cut out the 4 corners so that we'll decoupage those 2 with foam pads. I'm just going to put my foam pads on the 4 corners first, because I'm going to have to make sure I get the pattern in the right place. Foam pad that one up wrong, but never mind. Okay, just move that out of the way. I'll just make sure, so that one there, that one there, just do my little jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so just going to put that on top of the same picture there. Just that to there. So from these higher height is just helping frame the image, and then I'm going to add some foam pads to the centerpiece. Use my foam tape. There we go. And then for the next piece, I've gone and cut the rabbit image out and just left a small white border around. And I'm just going to attach that to there. And then just get that in the correct place. There you go. Okay, so it's got a nice height to the card. Now this is how I do my sentiments for the matte layers when they're smaller thin sentiments. So I just stick them down to a straight edge, leaving a small border, and then basically just really carefully cut around them, leaving and trying to get the borders the same on each side. Now it does take a little bit of backwards and forwards trimming to get them relatively straight. Sorry, I was concentrating. There you go. So there's one. There's two. I'm just going to attach those, one to the top, one to the bottom. There we go. And that's the second 8x8 card design. Let's put these out of the way. Next one's, this is an A5 card design, so I've already got my sentiment ready this time. Now this time these have been cut out by dies, but of course you can use what's already in the download kit too. I've cut a little topper out there of the rabbit, and this time we're going for the robin. We're just making a normal flat card, and so the first piece of colour paper measures 14.5 centimetres by 20.5 centimetres, so the pattern paper will measure 14 centimetres by 20 centimetres. Okay, that level. Sorry, that's from the other card. So attach this to the card base. Get either side of the borders level. So that's the card base. Now for the robin topper, so I've got a normal size topper and some mats and layers. So we'll do the first piece. So this is a 10 centimetre square, and this should be 9.5 centimetres square. Yeah. So we're going to attach these two together first. There we go. And then the topper is 9 centimetres square, and that should just give a small border around the square topper. There we go. And then that, we're just going to use foam pads and attach that to the other layer. That's it. So bring the card base back in. So now just a case of remembering whether I was going to put that on there, and then we've got the robin topper, or because the robin's facing to the right there, yeah, I think we'll do that. So attach these two pieces together. Actually, I'm going to foam pad. straight. There you go. And then I'm going to attach that at a slight angle. And use foam pad down the centre of the rabbit. That's it. Just attach the rabbit just there. And then the sentiment, we're just going to pop straight across there. There you go. Quite a nice little Christmas card, especially with the robin. So put that one to dry. Now, next we have another A5 card. I've got some snowflakes this time. I've got the smaller square toppers and two different pattern papers, but again I've used some black card because it goes with the papers. So first of all, the black card measures 14.5 centimetres by 20.5 centimetres. So the white card will be 14 centimetres by 20 centimetres, and then this will be 13.5 centimetres by 19.5 centimetres. So I'm going to attach the paper to the white card first, get that level, and then attach that to the black card. Sorry, getting sticky fingers. Yep, level, and then this all goes onto the card base. Get that so it's level. Let's put that to drying. Now I've got three more pieces here. So I've got a piece of black card that is measuring 14.5 centimetres by 6 centimetres. A piece of white card which is the same in height, so 14.5 centimetres by 5.5 centimetres. Some pattern paper, again the same height, so 14.5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. Yep. Attach these three pieces together. Oops, sorry. Okay, just give that a second to dry. So then we've got our 3 toppers. So I've got 2 pictures and 1 sentiment, and they've all got their black and white matte layers. So the black card is 6.5 centimeters square, and that will be 6 centimeters square. So you need 3 of each of those, and your toppers are just how they come out when they're printed. So yeah, so the white would just give it the top a small border. So attach all these 3 together. That's 1. 2, and then the last one. Okay. So just bring this back. And we've got phone tape on the back of this. And just attach that to the right side, the left side, just leaving a small border of those. And then these, I was going to put 1 there, that sentiment there, and then the owl just at a different height. Okay, so we'll put this one on first. There we go. Just need a thin bit of foam pad just down there just to hold. Okay, just slightly overlap with the sentiment. And then we put some foam pads just on the back of this one. And I'm going to put that there. Okay. And then I've got a couple, 3 little snowflakes that use a die and cut them out of one of the coloured cards. So I'm just going to pop that one there. on there. And decisions, put that there. Okay, so just need to let that dry. So when that's dry, I'm going to put some small silver gems in the centre of my snowflakes. So it's quite a nice and different card design. So we'll let that dry. Next I've got 2 DL cards. I've done my 2 sentiments with 2 white mats. I've cut a robin and some fern out from one of the toppers. I've got 3 strips there. So first of all, I've got my plain card, and that's 9 centimetres by 20 centimetres. So the pattern paper will be 8.5 centimetres by 19.5 centimetres. Yep, just double check myself. Yep, get that layered up correctly. Attach this layer to the card base. And I've left this so it's got a slightly larger border on the outside. There you go. So let that dry. Now I've got 3 pieces here, so I've got my white mat. I've got my white mat that measures 4.5 centimetres by 20 centimetres. So the coloured paper here will measure 4 centimetres, and then my pattern paper will measure 3.5 centimetres. They're all the same length. So I'm going to layer these together. Got a bit of a glue spillage. Okay, just get that level, and then I'm going to bring my phone tape in and put that on the back. And I'm just going to attach that across the centre. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop the robin on there. Okay, and then I've got 2 sentiments, just one slightly over there. I think we'll put in there. just slightly goes over the centre layer. Yep. So you don't have to cut the top out, you can just use a die and just use it as it is, but I just thought it's just something a little different. So that's the DL card, and then our last one is another DL card. This time I've used, as you can see here, I've used one of the inserts and I've just cut it down just to fit on the DL card, so I just wanted this image really. So I've got some coloured card here which measures 9 centimetres by 20 centimetres, and I've cut the insert down to measure 8.5 centimetres by 19.5 centimetres. So I'll just lay them together. Okay. Attach this to our card base. Okay. And then to hide this where the sentiment part should be, I've got a piece of white card that measures 9 centimetres by 6 centimetres, and some of the pattern paper that measures 9 centimetres by 5.5 centimetres. Okay, just, of course, got to foam pad it. So just going to attach that to the side there, just to hide what the rest of the insert, what the insert part that was showing. Okay, and then the sentiment is just going to go across there. Okay, and then because it's an insert and I did want to decoupage the image, again I've used Adobe Reader and I've just taken a snapshot of just the image that was on the insert, so I didn't have to print out the whole insert again. So I've just taken this small snapshot of that, printed it out just as it is, just so I can then cut the fox out and just add it onto there and decoupage. I'm going to cut some of the tail off though. So because this would have been cut down here, just need to match the top part of the ears, and then just bring your scissors in and just carefully trim off the extra. There you go. And then we've got our decoupage little fox. So there's our final card, our final DL card. Let me just move all the rubbish out of the way and bring these in. So our two my 2 DL cards, and then the 2 A5 cards. Yes, put that on there. And then the 2 8x8 cards. Oops, let's move them over there. And then we could bring that one in there. So those are 6 different card designs. 3 of the same bases have been used, but as you can see, a nice different variety of cards that we've got here. And I must remember, I'm going to put some silver gems on the centre when it's all dry. Anyway, thank you for watching my video, and hope that you enjoy my card designs. Please come and have a look at the Crafty Witches website. You'll find lots of wonderful download collections that you can enjoy to play with, and with having the snapshot tool makes it, well, you're able to do a lot more with the download paper collection. Especially with making the images larger, or not only that, you also make the images, you can make the images smaller to fit on the smaller A6 cards, and even, you know, cut the images down on the DL cards too. If you wanted your card going this way, you could make the images smaller. Anyway, thank you for watching my video, and have a good day. Bye.